Hi, Glenn Phillips here with Lake Homes Realty and lakehomes.com. Today, I want to share with you 6 expensive myths for lake home sellers. It comes that time, you want to put your house on the market, but there's some myths that I see over and over cost sellers money on their investment. So here they are. Myth number 1, the local MLS and Zillow are sufficient and effective for making sure my lake home is seen on the market. Look, these are great platforms and we work with these tools, but they don't necessarily always have the national reach. And you think, well, it gets syndicated to other sites, and Zillow's all over the Realtor.com, all these are all over the country. The problem is when somebody's trying to find your lake home, it's hard for them to sort it out. So niche websites like lakehomes.com are so much better at making sure that the customer who's looking for this type of property can find this type of property, including looking at multiple lakes at once, which you think, well, I don't want them to look at other lakes. Think of it in reverse. They may look at another lake, and through a tool like lakehomes.com, they can find yours and your property. So this is part of being, go niche. If you want to buy golf clubs, being a Super Bowl ad would be interesting, but what you really probably do is go to a golfing channel. So think about the niche especially. Myth number 2, an open house is critically important. In an urban environment where there's a lot of street traffic, that's true. But at the lake, even if there's a high density, the buyer for the property probably lives somewhere else, maybe even in another state. They may not come to an open house. They'll come to see your property if they are interested. They find it online. They've been updated by their local agent. But the open house itself may make you feel better because it's motion. It's people coming in, and maybe somebody will be interested. But the buyers for these properties come when they can come, and then you want to get the opportunity for them to see it easily. So make it available beyond the open house. The open house really, here's a real estate secret. Open houses are really good for agents to get contact with your neighbors so that they can get more listings. All right, myth number 3, Zillow's Zestimate reflects current value. Look, this is a fantastic tool in many environments. The trick is, and by Zillow's own admission, you go on their website and dig around, they actually score the quality that they believe they are for a given market. They're very candid with this. And the problem with lake properties is that they don't know how to account for water location, water depth, seasonality, these things that are not in public record, and so their algorithm can't process it. And the reality is, in any transaction, the Zestimate and any other automated valuation model is going to make either the buyer or the seller happy and disappoint the other one. The reality is the transaction you work between the two. So it may be sort of a guide. More importantly would be a comparable market analysis by somebody who's a lake expert agent. It could be one of ours, it could be somebody else, but that's going to be more appropriate because they're going to understand what is really a comparable house instead of an algorithm that has no idea how to account for the uniqueness of lake real estate. Myth number 4, lake home buyers want the same type of homes popular a decade or more ago. So, you built a house, you bought a house, you made it yours, you've had it 10, 20 years. There are certain features in those houses that can be rustic or charming, and that's great. But there can also be a lot of things. Today's buyers, there are a variety, and they may be coming to a market, but they may be interested in things that are a little more high tech. They may be interested in downsizing, and they want smaller houses than they used to want in mass. Your particular type of buyer will be any one of those. But what you want to do is be sure to understand that just because your style was really popular a long time ago, it may still be popular, but just don't assume it. You love it, that doesn't mean the buyers will love it, and that's more important. Myth number 5, fewer homes on the lake for sale means you can ask a premium price. Well, there's an oddity in the real estate market right now, particularly in lake markets and other niche markets, and that is what I call phantom inventory. They're homes that have gotten on the market and they're not going anywhere. Is that really for sale? So what's happening right now is that today's buyers are more informed than any time in history. They've got a little uncomfortableness about the economy. They want what they want and they'll pay for it, but they're not going to pay premium. And those houses that are priced at premium sit. And if they sit, it becomes a problem, which leads me to myth number 6. The myth that there is little risk in testing the market with a high price. What our information tells us, and we sell at lakes all over the country, is that homes that start at above market pricing to test the market tend to fail. They don't know what the test is. The people haven't decided an outcome. Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it a month? Is it 3 months? And if you start too high and you start cutting too slow and not enough, you teach buyers that you'll cut your price. Most people who test the market and don't have a clear, short answer to say, look, we're going to test it. If it's wrong, in 10 days we're going to cut this big market price and get it right, make some demand. Those houses actually cut themselves, death by 1,000 paper cuts. Cut, 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 cut. The buyer's been watching them. They've cut their price 3 times. I'm going to come in even lower because I know they'll cut their price. Meanwhile, the sellers are very frustrated, going, well, I can't cut anymore. I already have. You know what? That's testing the market, and the market can be brutal. So be very aware of that myth that you can just test it and it's not going to cause any risk. It does. Anyways, I hope these myths are helpful if you're ready to sell that lake home, whether it's get another one, get it upsized, downsized, move to another lake, or life's led you in another direction. But these myths are important to not absorb if you want to get the maximum return on your investment. A focused lake expert agent in your market will be able to guide you through these steps as well and have lots of other guidance that's specific to your market. Be sure and visit us at lakehomes.com to find one of our agents across the country, or to see what's going on in your particular market right now, or to find your next dream lake home. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you and have a great day. For more information, be sure to check out lakehomes.com.